Hey everyone, hope you are well and safe, and a very good evening to everyone who are watching this live and who will be watching this live later as well. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Rohan Kulkarni, and we are going to see how you can use Postman in the API field. And the topic of this video is Introduction to API using Postman. So we have Postman student leader Rohan Kulkarni and GDSC web lead Rohan. So over to Rohan, and we can go ahead for the session.
Yeah, good evening everyone. So in today's session we will be having a look at what exactly API development is all about. We will be having introduction about the Postman, how exactly Postman helps in API development, like what are the features of Postman, how the UI is provided, and all that things. And in the end, you all have a special surprise from Postman. I will also share that thing. And Aman, please share my screen. Actually, it's not visible, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. So let me know in chat section that how many of you know about Postman, like what exactly Postman is, or what API development is. Okay, no issues. So we will start with our session now. So let's have a look. So yeah, this is a bit about me. As Aman have already introduced me, I am a GDSC web lead at GDSC SRTS, and I'm also a Postman student leader. So this will be our today's agenda. In the start, we will have a look at API and what exactly Postman is. Then we will have a look at what exactly requests and responses are. Then we will do one demo session like how we can use CRUD application with the help of Postman. Then I will share some resources from which you can learn about the API development. And in the last, we will be having a Q&A session. Okay, great. So let's start with our first example. So this example is of an digital restaurant. So as every one of us visits restaurant, the basic flow is that we ask waiter for our order, waiter sends the order to the chef, and chef cooks that food. So yeah, this is the basic workflow. We order to the waiter, and waiter sends that order to the chef. Exactly the same process happens with our API. Like we are client. Client sends request with the help of API to the server. Server takes the data from database, processes it, and send back to us. So exact same process is replicated here. Just the waiter is replaced by the API. So what exactly API is? Yeah, APIs are, so let's have a look at and why should we use API? So application programming interfaces allows services to communicate with each other. Software has become more complex and collaborative over the years. Developers no longer need to create every service from the scratch. For example, now every application has its web version, it has its iOS version and Android version. So they don't need to create a separate backend for each platform. They just need to create one API, and API can be consumed in any platform. Like API allow developers to access the data from the services like Google, Twitter. There are also Google Maps API from which we can access the features of the Google Maps. And we don't need the knowledge that how exactly that API is implemented. We just need to know how we can consume the particular API. So yeah, let's have a look how Instagram uses the hardware API. So when we open the story section in the Instagram, we are able to click the pictures there. So that exactly is done with the help of an hardware API, which help us to capture our photos. And in the Instagram also, our feed is loaded with the help of API. So yeah, there is an API for everything. The cat API is there, weather API is there. Then there is Discord is also having its own API. YouTube to MP3 are converted with the help of APIs. Spotify Music also provided an API from which we can create our own music player. Twitter also provides API with the help of that we can create our own bots. Then Google and so many more. So yeah, we have many more APIs. I will like to share one resources which is public APIs. Yeah, free public API. So this is an GitHub repository where you can get a list of an public APIs which are free to access. So I will post that link in a comment section. Yeah, just give me a minute. I will drop that link. So every one of you can use that letter. Yeah, so this is the link for the API. As you can see here, there is an index, like there is a category based API, like many APIs are included here. Then we have authentication based and HTTPS based APIs also. Yeah, so let's come back to our presentation. So basically, API turns software into Lego blocks. So Lego blocks in the sense that the API brick can be used in any software. Like it can be used in iOS, it can be used in Android, it can be used in web, it can be used in any platform. Just we need to consume that particular API in that particular platform. Yeah, so where exactly Postman comes into this? So Postman is a collaborative API development platform that simplifies creating, using, and testing APIs with the help of UI. So 98% of Fortune 500 organizations use Postman, and 65% of Global 2000 organizations use Postman. So here comes the big name like PayPal is there, Uber is there, Capital One is there, Atlassian is there, Walt Disney is there, then Philips is there. So yeah, many big companies and 5 lakh plus organizations and 13 million developers also use Postman. So yeah, before Postman, the working with API was with the help of a call command line. So this is basically like with the help of our terminal, and the Postman has added UI to the API development, so it is a bit easier now. Yeah, so let's start with the request and responses. So let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts regarding the content which we covered till now. After that, we are going to start with the details of request and responses, how exactly request is sent from the client and how response is sent back to the client.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess there is no
Mhm.
issues. We can go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, we will go ahead. Okay, so client is our computer. It can be our laptop. It can be our mobile, anything. In short, the browser is also called as a client because the request is sent from the browser itself. Network, in the sense, it is any LAN network or Wi-Fi network through which you are connected to internet. And server is present somewhere at the cloud or somewhere at the cloud stations from where the API is being served. So yeah, the request is sent from the client to the server. The server processes the request, gets the data from the database, and then the response is sent back to the client. The response is sent with the data which is requested from the client. So yeah, there are three methods from which we can make request. There is one get method, there is one post method, there is one put method, and there is also one method which is delete. So yeah, I will explain how the exact process works in detail. There are addresses and endpoints like means every API has its particular endpoints. Like there can be routes of users. By getting the request from the by getting the response from the user route, we will get information regarding all the users, and every particular API has its specific endpoints. So yeah, path is also part of endpoint. We can get more details here. Yeah, so as many of you have seen that https www.google.com/search. So this is exactly an API, search API which Google is using to send back data to you. So yeah, there is a method which is a get method. Get method is used to request the data from the server. Post method is used to send the information to the server because post method is secure method and the password and the authentication things don't get exposed in the public. So yeah, put and patch methods are used to update the information, and delete method is used to delete the information. So yeah, let's divide the URL into small parts. Like HTTPS is a protocol, means HTTPS is a secured protocol, and there is one more which is not secured, that is HTTP. So yes, here stands for the secured version. After that, our host is google.com on which the /search endpoint is running. So yeah, address of server is www.google.com. After that, path. Path means the destination where the request can be heard or executed, which is search in this case. So if you are searching on Google Map, it will be maps, like same in case of YouTube and everywhere. So yeah, let's get into little bit of details like the parameters or query parameters. I will show you with the help of Google API only. So yeah, we will go to google.com. So as you can see here, it is written https google.com. So when we type here something, for example, we type postman. So that will appear with the help of this. So it is there with the help of question mark and q. And after that is equal to postman. So this is saying that we are searching at this endpoint with the help of the query parameter, which is having value postman. So yeah, that is exactly which this search is meaning. For example, we write here API, then the postman will get replaced with the API. So now the value of the query parameter is API. So this is how exactly the process goes while sending the request. As when we send the request for searching postman, we can see in the network tab, which you can open with the help of inspect. And in the inspect, when you can see in the network tab that there is a request going to google.com. Let's refresh. Yeah, as you are seeing here, many requests are coming, but let's see which is the request which we send for our postman search result. So yeah, as we can see here, here is a get request which we send at the endpoint /search with the query parameter of postman. And let's see what response we are getting. Okay, as you can see here, the scheme is HTTPS, the host is google.com, file name is /search, and you can see here queue. So basically, this queue is shown here. So yeah, the query parameter queue. Okay, so the queue here stands for the query parameter, means we are getting the results for the postman. And you can see here the status code is 200 OK, which means that the request is and the response is also received successfully. So these are the status codes which represent the how the request is traveled and how the response is received. So here you can see the domain is google.com, and it also provides us the expires, means if we take the data from this, we need to consume it before this only. After that, we need to renew the data, we need to send the request again, and we need to get the data back. Okay, let's get back to our slides. So in the authorization means our Google account signing. So basically, any data which we are requesting from any backend server, it requires authentication. Not all data requires authentication, but any specific data like the uh, password of the user or the email of the user that requires the authentication. So in this today's workshop, we are not going to touch authentication because it's a little bit difficult. We will try our demo with the API which don't have authentication. So yeah, headers and the body are the part of request which helps the backend server to identify that what exactly data is coming from the client. Like for example, we submit the forms in the client, we send the data like the name of the user is sent, password is sent. So this data is sent with the help of the body. So yeah, this is the request body. So request body is often supplied with the help of get. But if we send something in get that is exposed in public, like in the public string, it is exposed. So it is always suggested to send the data with the help of post request. We can also send put request. Put request is used to update the data. Means it's like an edit function. Then data can be sent with the help of many. There are form data, there are JSON, there is a text, there is HTML, XML, files, GraphQL. There are many methods to send the data in a request body. But the majorly used method is JSON. So JSON is a JavaScript object notation. So this is how JSON looks like. It is like a dictionary in the Python which consists of a key and value pair. But the thing is that the strings are included in the double quotes in JSON. So yeah, this is about sending request to the backend. But while getting the response from backend, certain rules are followed. Like rules are of type conventions. So the status code is sent from the backend after the successful execution of the API. If 200 is sent, then the request is successful. If 201 is sent, then something new data is added to the backend. And the most popular 404, which is not found. Headers. So actually headers, I will show you where exactly the headers come into part. So yeah, these are the headers. So as you can see, the cookies are here. So these are the headers. Like the accept header is text HTML. Means it means that the HTML file is sent from the backend to this client, and this client is rendering this HTML file. So what more we can see in the header? Let's have a look. Yeah, so these are basically the secure things which is regarding our login. So yeah, this is secure true. This is also type of a response which is set in the cookies. So yeah, let's get back to the slides and accessing body data. So basically we can access the body data in the backend with the help of request.body. Means anything the client is sending to the backend for the processing and saving that to database, that particular thing is accessed with the help of request.body. Yeah, so this is the theory part. Now we will look at a demo workshop. So I will copy this link and paste it in the chat box so you all can navigate with the help of this link. Yeah, so basically this is an workshop conduct means created by Postman, and in this workshop we will be implementing the basic CRUD applications like the basic API is given by the Postman. On that API we will perform applications with the help of the Postman UI. We don't need to code anything here. We will just understand how to read documentation of an API and how to send request, how to get the request, how to add the data and how to delete the data. Okay, so basically I will zoom in just a minute. Yeah. So this is a, I will introduce you with the Postman UI. So this is a Postman web version. For using this version, you need to sign into this. So this is where this is your profile. You just need to sign in with the help of email. I will show how you can do this. So let me sign out. Yeah, so basically when you come to this site, I will also share this site. Yeah. So when you come to this site, you get two options. You can create a separate, like with the help of your email and password also. And there is an one authentication provided with the help of google.com. You can just log in with the help of Google. This will create a brand new account for the Postman. Yeah, so this is the UI which we are going to work on. So here is the workspaces. Like workspaces are a type of an environment which is given to you by Postman, where you can create a collections and run APIs, perform the tests, and a whole lot of things. So now we will open our link for the workspace. So basically, you can think a workspace as your personal space where you can create a collections for API. Collections means the folder of API where you can store the particular request and get access for the endpoints and the authentication things. So in the today's workshop, we will look at the basics of API because this is API 101 session without the authentication thing. So this is a documentation for the API. So documentation for the API is accessed with the help of this navbar in the right side. You can click here and the documentation for this particular workshop gets open. So yeah, now documentation is the very important in the case of API because we don't know that what backend a person is trying to code and which endpoints we need to hit. So yeah, as we are given three paths with by the postman. The one is code path, one is joke path, and one is book path. So basically, thing what we have to do is that we have to add the particular data with the help of these endpoints to the postman backend. Okay, so in the code part, we can add a code something like any code we can add. Then in joke we can add any joke. In books we can add any book. So all this data is added to the postman database with the help of different methods. These are get, post, put, and delete. Okay, now we will read the documentation so we can understand that what exactly data we are trying to send or what exactly data we can get. So this is the base URL. Here, it is a front end developed by Postman, which help us to see what exactly data is added to the backend. So let's have a look. Which path should we choose? Let's let me know in the chat section that which path should we choose. Should we go for adding a quote or a joke or a book? Let me know in chat section. Yeah. So basically, we can get started with the book. So let me show you what exactly books are present in a Postman database. Yeah, so as you can see, okay, this is sending us a data in form of a JSON. So see, the idea of the book is three. Author is Walter Isaacson. Book name is Steve Jobs. Okay, so this is data sent by Postman. So let's try hitting one more time. So this time we get the book with ID number 2. Okay, this is book is wise and otherwise. Okay, so few books are added by Postman in the database. Now we will also add one book. Okay, let me close these tabs. Yeah. So the documentation help us to understand that what exactly endpoints are present and what exactly data we need to send in post request, in a put request. So yeah, now we will try the get request. So yeah, as you can see here by default, it has the four jokes with ID 0 to 3. So to get a random joke, we need to hit the request at this URL. So let's add a variable with the name base URL. So before starting to work with the collection, we need to fork that collection. Fork in the sense we need to create our own copy for that collection. So I will put the date of today, that is Feb 12, and then add it to my public workspace. Okay, I will fork the collection and then we'll start working on that collection. So yeah, as you can see, this is our today's copy. I have also previous copies which are of the sessions which I conducted in. Yeah, so as you can see, we can open the documentation from here. So we are going to hit the route for the books. endpoint. So let's scroll a little bit and open the books endpoint. Yeah, so this is the books endpoint. So now let's create one variable with the help with the name base URL. Yeah, base underscore URL. And we will set the value of this base URL which is provided by the Postman, that is an app which is deployed on Heroku. Okay, we have set the variable. Now we will perform a get request. Yeah, so as you can see, to get a random book, we need to pass the base URL and slash book. So let's give it a try. Like, let's add the base URL first. I will zoom a little bit. Yeah, so let's add the base URL. Any variable is added with the help of two curly brackets. So we'll write base underscore URL. So this is the base URL, but it is showing unresolved. So first we need to create an environment. So yeah, let's add a variable in our environment, which will be the base URL, and we will add the initial value here and give this environment a name like API101. Click save and make this environment as our active environment, that is API101. Now we'll be able to see that the initial value of the base URL is the one which we put in our initial value. So yeah, let's hit the route to codes, sorry, books. And let's have a look at documentation, what exactly request we need to send. So yes, we need to send the request at base URL slash book. So this is how you send request, and we are getting some error. Let's see why we are getting errors. Okay, cannot get book. Okay. So in the variable, what we have done is we have also included the forward slash here. So we will remove the forward slash here. Yeah, now let's check the forward slash is not present. Now send the request. Yes, we get the response with a random book which is written by Sudhamurthy, and the book name is Wise and Otherwise. Let's try once again. So yeah, this time we get a different book. So now this is the get request. Now let's add our own request which will be post request. Yeah, we will write add book. Okay, now let's have a look at the documentation. How can we send a post request? So basically, to send a post request, we need to include this data, which is in form of a JSON in our body. So now let's put a random ID. Let's have a look at it, because ID is something which need to be unique. So I will write a random author, and then I will give a book name which is random book name. So this is just a dummy data because we are trying that are we able to send our data to backend or not. So let's save this request and send this. Okay, we need to provide the URL also, which will base URL, then backslash. Let's have a look what exactly endpoint we need to mention. So yeah, as you can see, everything is written in documentation. So documentation are the key where you can get all the details. So in the post, we need to send the request at base URL slash book. So I will save the get request and close it. And in the post, I will send the request at base URL. Yeah, so this our book is added to our database. So we will come to know that our book is added. So now let's see, are we getting the book back or not? Yeah, with the help of a get request. let's send the request with the ID 25. So from where I came to know that by including the backslash and 25, we can send the ID 25. So as you can see here in the documentation itself, it is mentioned that you can pass the base URL slash code, sorry, base URL slash book and slash the ID of the book, where it is. Okay, by mistake it is written quote here, but it should be book. So base URL slash book slash ID of book. So we are passing the same thing. Where is that? Yeah, in the get base URL slash book slash ID of book. Let's send the request. And yes, we get the book which we have added recently. Okay, now let's look at uh, give me a minute. I will open the platform where we can check. Yeah, so this is basically a front end created by Postman where you can check the books added. So we need to hit add book, then backslash view. So yeah, as you can see, there are four books added here. This is the book which we added recently. So now let's edit this book. So I will edit the author name and put my name there. So for that, for editing the information, we need to create one more request that will be put request, or we can say update data, update book. And in this book, we need to send a put request with the same URL, but this time we need to provide the ID also because we need to tell the API that which route, sorry, the which book we want to edit. So we will send the request at ID, which is 25, which is the our book which we added recently. So in the body, we will pass. So let's have a look at documentation that what exactly endpoint we need to hit to make the changes. So yeah, to update the existing book, we need to hit the base URL slash book. Okay, we don't need to send the ID as a query parameter. We can send that in the body also. So see, this is an example that what exactly data we need to send in body. So let's copy the data from our post request, which we send. Yeah, here we will send the data in the put request. So just one thing I will do, I will change the author name with my name and the book name with random book name, updated with the post, updated with put. Let's see, are we able to do this or not? So I will refresh once. As you can see, the data is random author and random book name. Now I will send the request, which is a put request. So it is giving us an error. Okay, we don't need to provide the ID here. I will save the request. I will send the request. So yeah, as we get empty, so I think the data must be updated. Let's check. Yeah, as you can see here, my name is added and the book name is also updated. So this is how the put request works. So now let's add one more, that is delete. So now let's delete the data which we added, that is delete book. Now here we need to select the delete and let's check how we can send a delete request with the help of documentation. So we need to provide the base URL, then book, and then backslash ID of book, which is 25 in our case. Then service get, yeah, update also, and this delete. So we need to provide the base URL, which is our variable. Then we need to add the book with its ID. So now let's send this request. We don't need to provide any body data because we are sending the ID with help of parameter. Yes, it gives us message that book with ID 25 is deleted. So now let's cross check that is it deleted or not. Let's refresh again. Okay, it's taking a little bit of in our get request till that will get loaded. So yeah, as you can see, it is getting loaded, and the book number 4, the book number with ID 25 is deleted. So now let's cross check with the help of our get request also. See, book not found is coming. Means the book with ID 25 which we created is deleted now. So this is how you can perform all the CRUD application. CRUD in the sense we are performing this four application, the four requests which are known as the CRUD applications. Means create, read, update, and delete. So these are the basically the four methods which we use to send the data, to get the data, to update the data, and to perform all the basic operations with the help of the API. So yeah, let's have a recap of our session which we learned. So yeah, we have learned the essentials, like we learn about the methods, we learn about get method, we learn about put method, we learn about delete method. Then we learn about the addresses, like we divided the URL in different parts, like the path was there was a push, there was a postman, which we saw in a Google, that query parameter with value postman was sending a request to Google API. Then we saw that authentication. We don't saw authentication in the deep, but we will have a session soon on API with the help of the authentication also. Then we send our body data in a post request, which added our book to the database, and after that we updated that book and deleted also. So yeah, if you find this thing interesting, then Postman also have a program which is known as Student Expert Program. So basically, in this Student Expert Program, you are given some what we say, you are given some workshops. In that workshop, you can perform certain tasks, and after completion of the task, you are a certified student expert. So I will provide the link from where you can explore more about the program. And after the student expert program, you can also become a student leader for your campus. So yeah, this is, you can apply here for Postman student expert program. I will also copy this link and paste in chat section. Yeah, so in this is the end of our today's session. So we have some amazing swags given by Postman for you people. So there are two tasks which you need to complete to get these swags. So yeah, first task is to create your public workspace with a collection using any API of your choice on a Postman UI, like the postman.com. So basically, you need to create a collection which is consuming an API, like for example, a dogs API. So basically, when you hit the endpoint, you are getting a picture of a dog. So you can get that thing in a public API link which I shared. And the second thing you can do is that which is in blog. So you can curate all that things which you learn in today's session or what you know regarding the API, and you can share that thing on any platform. You can share that on Medium or Dev.to or even on Hashnode. Just make sure that you use the tags which is Postman student and Postman API and you need to submit the URL in the form which I will be sharing soon. So yeah, if you like today's session, you can share about it on socials. Like you can share it on Twitter or LinkedIn with the hashtag Postman Student. Yeah, and these are the few resources like learning.postman.com, explore.postman.com, and community.postman.com, where you can get the help of the Postman student community or the Postman professionals who are also there. Yeah, so this is the end of the sessions. I will share the feedback form soon. So let me know if there are any questions in your mind which you want to ask regarding the API development or regarding the Postman Student Expert Program. I will share the link of the form. Just give me a minute.
Rohan, where you have shared the link?
Actually, the link of form, I am creating a form and sharing. Just give me 2 minutes. So basically, this form is for like if you shared something, you need to fill the form and provide the links of the socials to me, like the social post or any blog which you have written, so I can forward that thing to the postman. That's why I have shared the link in comment section now. You can have a look. So this is the form which you need to fill to enter this contest. Yeah, so 5 people were given swags from the postman. So yeah, that's it
Yeah,
from my side.
Rohan, anything
If
else?
any doubts are
Okay,
there.
that's right.
Mhm.
I guess they are going to disturb you later because API version
No,
is new
no
to everyone.
worries. Yeah, no worries.
So
They
they're
they can
trying to
get
like,
connected with me also. I will share the link also.
yeah. So I guess like which weekend is going on. So most of the guys like busy there.
Mhm. Yeah,
So that's the reason they will also watch later as
I will
well.
drop link from here. You can get connected with me. Mhm. Yeah, sure. Okay, so I will stop my screen share. I hope you
That's
all
great.
enjoyed today's session and will be excited to learn more about API.
Yeah, sure. Rohan, it's a great session and we have learned a lot. And also, you are going to be disturbed by so many of guys later, and be ready
No
for that as
worries.
well.
I
And
will be
thanks to
happy to
you
answer every
and
one of
Postman
them.
for us. Yeah, that's great. So, guys, you can learn more about APIs and Postman by Rohan session that he has taken today on our channel. And also, you can DM if you have any confusion. We will share you some links with of him as well. And thank you again, Rohan, for taking the session and taking out time. And it's really great for all of us who are beginning their journey with APIs. Thank you again, Rohan.
Yeah, my pleasure.